But first tonight, a full-fledged political war in the national capital over a series of CBI raids targeting Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's key aide. The top bureaucrat handpicked by the Chief Minister is now at the CBI headquarters. Rajinder Kumar, who is being accused of favouring particular firms while awarding tenders, has now been taken for questioning a little while ago. The CBI is questioning the top bureaucrat. Its earlier raids at the Delhi Secretariat have already sparked off a massive face-off. The CBI says that Rajinder Kumar has been brought to explain the seizures made from his premises. The top bureaucrat's wife, who had come to the CBI headquarters, has now left.
I am representing him. Yes, sir. The CBI official has told me that he has not been arrested and they are only taking him for questioning. Now let's see what do they do. This is absolutely wrong what's being done and we will keep a watch. राजेंद्र कुमार जी से उन्होंने मुझे बात नहीं करने दी, सिर्फ मुझे दूर बिठाया। राजेंद्र कुमार से बात नहीं करने दी। राजेंद्र कुमार जी की वाइफ से सिर्फ बात हुई है। सीबीआई ऑफिसर ने मुझे बताया कि इनको अरेस्ट नहीं किया गया अभी तक और वो कहते सिर्फ क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए लेके जाने आए, कुछ सवाल पूछ रहे हैं।
Now all this began this morning. A CBI raid on the Delhi Principal Secretary's office in the Secretariat led to Arvind Kejriwal claiming that the raids were targeted against the Chief Minister himself. He blamed Prime Minister Modi for the raids and even went to the extent of calling the Prime Minister a psychopath and a coward. The BJP has vehemently protested the attacks and called for an apology from Kejriwal. But the Delhi Chief Minister is not bending. He in fact is targeting now the Finance Minister, Arun Jaitley.
मैं मोदी जी के इन सीबीआई और टुटपंजियों से और इन गीदड़ भभकियों से नहीं डरने वाला। मैं ये उनको साफ साफ कह देना चाहता हूँ। अरे तुम्हारे तो कर्म फूटे हैं, तुम अपने कुकर्मों की माफी मांगो देश से, मैं अपने शब्दों की माफी मांगूंगा देश से।
An aggressive Arvind Kejriwal refusing to apologize for his psychopath jibe at the Prime Minister.
मैं आपको बता दूं मोदी जी, आपने दूसरों को तो डरा दिया सीबीआई से, केजरीवाल नहीं डरने वाला। आपको पता नहीं है मैं किस मिट्टी का बना हूं।
The Delhi Chief Minister's remarks came on a day when he shot off as many as 15 acerbic tweets straight at the Prime Minister and in a below-the-belt barb called him a coward and a psychopath. It all began with a raid on the third floor of the Delhi Secretariat, ostensibly against Principal Secretary Rajendra Kumar. But with the Chief Minister's office on the same floor, Kejriwal was quick to cry political vendetta.
तथ्यों को तोड़ मरोड़ के पेश किया जा रहा है। कहा जा रहा है कि छापा मुख्यमंत्री के सचिव के दफ्तर पे था। मुख्यमंत्री का सचिव का दफ्तर अलग होता है। जिस कमरे में मुख्यमंत्री की फाइलें रखी होती हैं, वहां रेड किस लिए डाली गई?
Reports from certain quarters regarding search at the office of Chief Minister Delhi are completely baseless. CBI emphatically denies having searched the office of Chief Minister Delhi.
सीएम के दफ्तर पर ना रेड पड़ी, ना उनके दफ्तर को छुआ गया। और जितना आम आदमी पार्टी खुलकर एक ऑफिसर जिसके खिलाफ गंभीर आरोप है उसको डिफेंड करने की कोशिश कर रही है, इससे और सवाल उठते हैं।
The Delhi drama spilled onto the floor of Parliament and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley led the BJP's charge. Later, Arvind Kejriwal aimed straight at Jaitley, raking up a corruption case in the Delhi and District Cricket Association.
सीबीआई आज मेरे दफ्तर में क्यों आई है, कौन सी फाइल ढूंढ रही है, ये मेरे को बताना अब जरूरी हो गया है। कौन सी फाइल ढूंढने के लिए आए हैं सीबीआई वाले? ये फाइल है डीडीसीए की फाइल, जिसके अंदर अरुण जेटली फंस रहे हैं।
The CBI swooped down on the capital, united the opposition with other chief ministers batting for Kejriwal.
রাজনৈতিকভাবে মেনে নিতে পারছি না বলে কাউকে এজেন্সি দিয়ে ধরিয়ে দেওয়া হবে। আজকে শুনলাম দিল্লি সিএমও অফিসেও নাকি রেড করা হয়েছে। আমি জানি না, আমি বুঝে পাই না। আমার মন্তব্য আমি টুইটে দিয়েছি, দেখে নেবেন সাংবাদিক বন্ধুরা।
The Delhi Chief Minister has taken on Modi and his cabinet in a collision unlike any other in recent memory. With Jugal Purohit and Ankit Tyagi in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
The big questions tonight, right at the top. Has Arvind Kejriwal jumped the gun by accusing the centre of targeting him? That's the first big question. Big question number two, should Kejriwal apologize for calling the Prime Minister names? Should the CBI have informed the Chief Minister before raiding the Secretariat? Does the CBI have a strong enough case against Rajendra Kumar? Will this episode hurt Kejriwal's image as an anti-corruption crusader? Or will this episode only give the opposition more ammunition against the Modi government. All bases covered tonight. It's our big debate. Joining me now, Kapil Mishra, Cabinet Minister in the Delhi government from the Aam Aadmi Party, Kiran Walia, Senior Leader and former Minister of the Congress, Sambit Patra, the National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Shantanu Sen, former Joint Director of the CBI, is with us. Kiran Bedi is in our studio, former IPS officer and social activist, and TSR Subramaniam, the former Cabinet Secretary, is with us. I'm first going to get reactions here in the studio from the two senior people who are with us. Kiran Bedi, do you believe that Arvind Kejriwal has jumped the gun, or do you believe that the jury is still out whether the CBI has done this out of political vendetta, the Prime Minister's office targeting Mr. Kejriwal?
I believe Mr. Kejriwal has lost an opportunity. He could have cooperated. The moment he'd known that his secretary is being raided, he could have said, I'm with you, I'm very grateful to you that I didn't, because secretary is a very trusted position. So that you found fault with him, I want to know if he's found fault, I want to get rid of him, because I can't have him, because I'm against corruption. So he could have cooperated and rather thank the CBI for coming and say, I want to know what all evidence is against him, I'm willing to be with you.
So you are going by you believe that Mr. Kejriwal jumped the gun, that Mr. Kejriwal should have waited to find out what exactly the CBI has on his principal secretary before accusing the CBI of political vendetta.
He could have cooperated it and not turned it into a political issue, which he's turned it.
Former Cabinet Secretary TSR Subramaniam, should the CBI have informed the Delhi Chief Minister when they raid his office? When you raid your principal secretary, you seal the office or the floor on which the Chief Minister sits. Should the Chief Minister at least be informed?
Well, there's no law to that effect, and also principal secretaries have been raided before in secretariats all over India, including Vora, for example. Government of India Secretary Iran Vora's brother was arrested here in Government of India. For me, Rajdeep, the law of today, surprisingly, is a totally different factor. This response is not correct. Our political dialogue has now descended to extremely low levels today, and I don't think it's acceptable today. I mean, it's not just unparliamentary, it's purely abusive, and I don't think it is correct at all. Firstly, in my view, I hope CBI has a strong case, because without that, hopefully, they should not have entered into this. But that time will tell. We don't know what the case is, we don't know what the information was. But that response is completely unacceptable.
Very immature.
It's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
So you're saying calling the Prime...
It cannot be in a street, in a Basti street.
You're saying this is a street fight. You can't, I'm waiting for the Aam Aadmi Party representative Kapil Mishra is supposed to join us. It is only fair that we get the Aam Aadmi Party view on this, so I'm waiting for him. But till then, I'm getting the other views on my panel. Shantanu Sen, I want to understand from you. You've been a former CBI Joint Director. Should the CBI have informed the Chief Minister before the raid is conducted?
Not exactly. But what is done in these cases is that since the person being raided is an important functionary, he is the principal secretary to the Chief Minister. CBI has to ensure that his work is not tampered with, that he continues to do his work.
Yes.
Therefore, what is done by us in these circumstances is that we inform a responsible officer, in this case it should have been the Chief Secretary, that Mr. Rajendra Singh will be required for investigation for some time. Please take care and ensure that the work which he is doing is not interrupted. That rest follows thereafter. He is taken, he is searched, his office is searched, definitely his office is searched. It is not the Chief Minister's office, the Principal Secretary has a room near the Chief Minister's office, that will be searched. Because when you have a corruption case, you go all out, you search, you interrogate. But you do ensure
I take your point.
He continues to do his work.
Okay, so you're saying
somebody continues to do his work.
Okay, hold on. But the question is, Sambit Patra, is that there is this war which has been going on for a long time between the Delhi government and the centre. So Arvind Kejriwal perhaps is being paranoid, some would say, but others would say, given the past record of the way he claims the centre has targeted him, has every reason to believe that his principal secretary is part of this targeting of Mr. Kejriwal. Why is he not entitled to speak out?
No, he is entitled to speaking out, and he is speaking out in a wrong way. But this is a technical issue. I mean, this is not a political rhetoric. Raids are technical issues, that too raids by CBI. I mean, in fact, there is an FIR which was posed by one of the senior bureaucrats of the Delhi government itself, who was a member secretary. He wrote to the CBI because of facts with him that there are certain kind of misappropriations by Mr. Rajendra Kumar to the tune of 50 crore. The CBI took a case, the CBI went to the court, mind application was made between the police department and the judiciary, and thereafter raids were conducted. It's not that these were raids out of the blue. These were raids in a constitutional manner. And a person like Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who has always postured on corruption, should rather have been cooperative about fighting against corruption, rather than having entered into conflict in fighting against corruption, and that's what is quite shocking.
So you're saying... You're saying, just a minute, because you know, it's while you all make these allegations, the Aam Aadmi Party's Kapil Mishra, Mr. Mishra, you were supposed to be on this program. I don't know where you are at the moment, but I want to understand from you, why is it that the Aam Aadmi Party has decided, even before the CBI has completed its investigations, to call it a political vendetta? I will try and get back, but go ahead, Sambit Patra, please go ahead.
See, I have two cases to compare over here.
Yes.
About 5 days ago, one of the other senior bureaucrats of the same dispensation, that is Delhi government, Mr. Sanjay Pratap Singh, had been caught by the same CBI. And then Mr. Arvind Kejriwal tried his best to take the accolades and all the good words for himself, saying that it was not because of the centre, but because of him that the CBI is acting. Then he kept the Prime Minister conveniently away from the system of CBI. And today, when one of his close aides, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, has been raided on corruption allegations, I'm not saying whether he is corrupt or not, that time will prove, on allegations, why is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, his whole team, walked an extra mile? Look at the language that Mr. Kejriwal using. Look at the kind of rhetorics that the whole team has entered into. Why this extra mile walk to protect a so-called tainted officer, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal should himself walk down to the CBI and say, here is the key to my office. Go and search every file so that no one who is corrupt should be with me. But oppositely, his office has not been touched. No one has gone into his office. It's just the same floor. But here is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal propagating a false story that my office was broken into. This is absolutely audacious. Mr. Kejriwal should answer.
You know, Kiran Walia, the Congress party, are you going to support what Mr. Kejriwal has done simply because my enemy's enemy is my friend today? That simply because Kejriwal takes on Narendra Modi, are you going to support the Chief Minister of Delhi when he accuses the Prime Minister of being a coward and a psychopath?
No, certainly not. In fact, language used by Minister and Mr. Kejriwal in public discourse is something which is not acceptable. However, there have been a full-blown conflict between the Delhi government and the central government. Mr. Kejriwal, who came on a high moral ground to root out corruption, it's very strange that he's, defending himself in this manner by making accusations. Let the records tell, and whether it was vicious or it was justified, that only future would tell. Mr. Rajendra Kumar may come out absolutely free of any kind of a malpractice from this whole episode. However, what is strange is the sea change in Mr. Kejriwal's behavior. It was just pointed out, and I would also say that when it came to another officer, he was glorifying CBI. And at the same time, somebody here said that, Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary could have been taken into account, but the Chief Secretary's office was sealed and shut by Mr. Kejriwal's orders himself. So this is a totally chaotic government. They, I think, are into theatrics every day because they want to take away people's attention from
Kapil Mishra, you're joining us. You were supposed to... Just a minute. Just a minute, ma'am.
Their Lokayuk bill is
Madam, just a minute.
Any merit, so do another thing. So therefore, I'm sorry, but here, this whole episode, I know that very often CBI has in India been used as arm by politicians who are in power they be, but at the same time, you cannot therefore not have a raid just because, you know, it's an arm that is
Ma'am, I take your point.
It could be misused, it could be used,
take your
but
point.
that the future would tell.
Ma'am, I take your point. Now, I am told by my producer that my Aam Aadmi Party guest is stuck in traffic. Kapil Mishra, you were supposed to be on this program, and everyone is today targeting the Aam Aadmi Party. I want your response. Is this theatrics? Are you doing drama?
No, how can we, who are we here? There is a team of CBI that entered CM's office and
how far, Mr. Kapil Mishra, how far are you? Should you be stuck in traffic? You were supposed to be on this program. Do you want the Aam Aadmi Party to respond or not? Should you not have been there in time on the program? Mr. Mishra, you know, I have to go to my other guest because I'm not being able to get the line through to you. It's extremely unfortunate that the Aam Aadmi Party is at the moment not being able to give us its proper response on this program. But I want to come back to you, Kiran Bedi. This charge that you have made in the past of theatre. Every time you say that Arvind Kejriwal is engaging in theatrics, he is saying I am being targeted. The Delhi government has not been allowed to function, A, by the Lieutenant Governor, B, by the Prime Minister, C, by the centre in general. How do you respond?
Rajdeep, let's stick to this case. If that's what we are for.
Yes.
This is amazing theatrics. Is there a difference between Chief Minister and the Secretary or not? Who's the boss? Who is the boss? He's the boss. And if his junior has been found amiss, delinquent, under investigation, should he not separate himself and say that I want to know the truth? Or is he the same?
No, one minute.
I think that's too much of a mix-up.
1 minute.
Too much of a mix-up.
1 minute. This is not the first time. This is not the first time that, you know, you have a situation where presumably a senior official of the government is raided by the CBI. Which is the last time, TSR Subramaniam, that such a raid has led to the Chief Minister believing that he is the target? I mean, presumably officers are raided by the CBI. The CBI is supposed to expose corruption, right? Do you believe that Mr. Kejriwal would have been much better off waiting to find out what the CBI has come up with before he defends his officer and then goes to the extent of calling the Prime Minister a coward and a psychopath?
Rajdeep, what you're saying is a hypothetical question.
Yes.
The real issue is, firstly, let us look at the legal side. I think from the facts that I know, the CBI has been on the right side of the law. I think they have taken all precautions. You can argue that CBI could have informed the Chief Minister after the event. Surely not before, because in these raids, nobody is informed in advance. Maybe he was informed, he was not informed, that's neither here nor there. One. Number two, you can speculate. You can speculate the reasons. But how do you know? How can you make a charge? Can anybody substantiate today its vendetta? Can anybody substantiate it is due to other politics at all? You can make any kind of a charge, but nothing illegal anywhere that you see here. And I think the important thing is we should now wait, get the facts on the ground, see if the raid has been justified or not, see what further steps are taken, what material comes out. We should see all that. And what I have found, again I'm repeating what I've said just now, we have lost something major today with the kind of language used in public discourse.
So you're saying it's the language. Sambit Patra, it's not though only Mr. Kejriwal who's used this language. The Prime Minister in the past has also used language. He's been accused by the likes of Nitish Kumar of using language unbecoming of the Prime Minister. The quality of political discourse, when you question someone's DNA, when you raise questions about, you know, you use the kind of language that at times the Prime Minister has used even in his election campaign in Bihar, you're allowing the likes of Kejriwal in a sense to say, let's make this a street fight.
See, Rajdeep, there is a difference between political punches and abusive language. Well, we all know, as far as the DNA comment is concerned, that was a political DNA that we were talking about. No one was addressing the DNA as deoxyribonucleic acid. Definitely no. It was a political DNA that Mr. Narendra Modi was talking about. And as far as the languages of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, not just the two words coward and psychopath for the Prime Minister, a lot has been spoken about that, but the recent most PC that he carried out, the kind of language, the kind of theatrics, the kind of body language that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal came out with was absolutely shocking. For the IS officers, for the bureaucrats, he was saying phalana, dhikda secretaries, tucha, such kind of words should have been used. I'm astonished. Look, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is no ordinary person. He's a chief minister of the capital of this country. And a single word, a single sentence of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal travels long. And in fact, it sends out a very wrong message for the youth of this country. Thirdly, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's excuse that he uses bad languages and abusive languages because he belongs to Haryana is demeaning to the state of Haryana. Why should the people of Haryana be spoken about in such manner? They are fantastic people. They speak fantastic language. They are good people. They are entrepreneurs. For them saying that I belong to Haryana and so I should be excused for using abusive language, I believe he should apologize to the state of Haryana today for having said so. Thirdly and very importantly, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal saying that he is the target. He is the target. Why? Mr. Kejriwal, I should remind you of the fact that Arun Jaitley, the finance minister of this country, on the floor of Rajya Sabha said that we are investigating Mr. Rajendra Kumar for the tenure of Sheila Dikshit's time. It was as clear as that. Why is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal so aggressive today? The hyperbolics of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal rather points to something which we are not discussing. Is he hiding something? Is he hiding something? Why is he so furious about the fact that certain files may come out? Why someone is coming near my room? It only shows that probably Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is trying to hide something. The Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson rightly stuck in the traffic today. The Aam Aadmi Party is stuck in the wrong traffic today. He should come and he should explain as to why they are so furious.
Kiran Walia, the Congress party also, we've seen Rahul Gandhi in this week using all kinds of comments saying, against the Prime Minister again. The question is the level of political discourse. Allow the rule of law to continue, for God's sake. There's a rule of law in this country. Allow that rule of law to continue.
I think I'm one person who totally agree with you. In public discourse, whether it's Prime Minister, it's worse if it's the Prime Minister, or any leader for that matter, must exercise self-restraint. I don't know what would happen to the democracy when this is how we begin to express ourselves. So therefore, Mr. Sumit Patra would have appreciated. He is a doctor by profession. He has been initially. So his dissection has not been very, very correct. I would say that any political leader must respect the kind of, the usage and what you are expressing. So you had rightly said, are we coming to street fights? Do you know many people now wish to stop seeing channels because some of, even people on the channels, they are expressing this kind of language. So I think that this is how we will dissuade people from being bothered about politicians, leaders, or anybody who is there to influence them. I'm one person who would really uphold some respect for language and public discourse. This will downgrade democracy.
Mr. Kapil Mishra, you're again on the phone line. I'm going to ask you this again. Could the Aam Aadmi Party not have waited to find out what has come out of this raid? You've got a senior official. The CBI has raided him. What if tomorrow it is found that the senior official has much to hide and much to explain? Where will you be left? Why did you jump the gun immediately and immediately say this is vendetta?
No, Rajdeep, it is not about jumping the gun, and it is also not about creating a drama. Look what happened today. Sumit Patra is also saying, Arun Jaitley has also stated in the parliament that this is not a case of Kejriwal's tenure. They are looking case of 7-year-old files they have to look. And where are they searching files for those files? They are not raiding education department. They are not raiding vet department. They are not raiding Sheila Dikshit's house. They are not raiding then education minister's house. They are not raiding then finance minister's house. What are they raiding? They are raiding CM Kejriwal's office. What files can one find there?
No, are you saying, hold on. Are you saying that they went into Chief Minister's office without informing him? Is that what you are alleging?
went into Chief Minister's office, the kind of files and the case that they are talking about, in no way files related to that case can be in the CM office at present. The only file they were interested in is the DDCA file. Arun Jaitley is involved in that case, and CBI for last 10 hours they are sitting in the secretariat.
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. Mr. Rajendra Kumar has been taken for questioning. The case has been, it is not as if this is an overnight case. There have been anti-corruption bureau cases that have been filed against Mr. Rajendra Kumar, on the basis of which the CBI claims they are investigating. You are saying the CBI had nothing to do with Rajendra Kumar? All this is an act, a drama?
No, I am not saying that. I am not saying that. I am saying that CBI is targeting one particular individual. If it is about that particular case, why they are not raiding house of then Chief Minister? Why they are not raiding house of then Finance Minister and then Education Minister? Why they are not looking at files which belong to that particular time period? They are looking files that Arvind Kejriwal has signed last week, yesterday. They are looking at files which he is going to sign tomorrow.
Okay, hold on. Now you are making a very serious charge. Kiran Bedi, respond to that. The charge is that the cases against which Rajendra Kumar is being investigated are from 2007 to 12. And these were when Sheila Dikshit was the Chief Minister of Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party is saying, why now? Why in 2015 are you conducting raids of what happened between 2007 and 12 without investigating the other alleged politicians or officers, including Sheila Dikshit? And the real motive, according to them, is to find out what files are there in Mr. Kejriwal's office, allegedly involving Arun Jaitley, the finance minister, when he was the DDCA head. How do you respond to this? This is what they've said. You've just heard what the minister, this is a minister in the Aam Aadmi Party government saying this.
Very far too much of a stretch. It's far too much of a stretch. Do they mean to say, पहले नहीं किया तो अब क्यों कर रहे हो? तो अब भी नहीं करो क्योंकि पहले नहीं किया. ये तो उसका agitation तो ये तो कभी नहीं कहता था. He came out of a whole movement of protests. Today he is in a total gear of protection. So protest to protection. Saying pehle nahi kiya, now everything stands protected. He stood for exposure. He all along, actually it's exposure which has brought him to power. Now he wants everything to be capped. Pehle nahi kiya, isliye ab kyun kar rahe ho? I think that's too much of a stretch.
No, you are effectively saying he's trying to protect the officer 100%. Rather than saying, look, I am someone who's committed to taking on corruption. Go and investigate anyone you want, including the Chief Minister.
He's been throughout on a protection mode. He did this with his MLAs. He did this with his MLAs, still caught in the act.
Kapil Mishra,
evidence was found out.
Yes. Kapil Mishra, the impression therefore will go on that maybe you want in some way that you are compromising with corruption. What if tomorrow Mr. Rajendra Kumar is found involved in these incidents? Then what will you do?
We see, Rajdeep, again, I am not even questioning the timing of the action. All I am saying, by any far-fetched logic, it is impossible that files that belong to 2007, 2014, they cannot find those files in CM's office right now. Only file that they will find in CM's office right now is files that belongs to this particular tenure of Arvind Kejriwal ji. So what exactly are they looking for? They are only creating a scene. They are targeting one particular individual. They are not interested in those files. They are not interested in that particular case. Otherwise, they would have raided the right places. They would have looked for the files in the right offices.
Respond against TSR Subramaniam. You've heard Kiran. No, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that an officer is being raided for alleged irregularities committed in the previous government. What will you find regarding this officer in Arvind Kejriwal's office, who is now the Chief Minister?
That I don't know. But the fact is, I believe 14 places have been raided.
Yes.
As far as I know, Chief Minister's room has not been raided. What has been raided is a room of the Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister. And it's one of the 14 places. So they are looking for evidence against him, number one. We do not know what evidence they're looking for. We don't know what information they have. We don't know what investigation they've already done so far. It's idle to speculate on all this. I will not, without a shred of evidence that they are motivated, I cannot accept a theory. I'll have to wait and see what the evidence they have. Apparently, they also have a court order, and the court normally looks at the prima facie evidence. And they would ask the question, why are they not investigating A, B, and C? And why only D?
Therefore,
so
Kapil Mishra,
all of this.
Kapil Mishra, the impression will go on that you are spoiling for a fight. That you are spoiling for a fight. You want to create a fight between Kejriwal versus Narendra Modi. You've even accused the Prime Minister of being a coward and psychopath. Do you have any evidence that the Prime Minister personally sanctioned this raid against Rajendra Kumar?
What kind of person will send CBI team to a chief minister to search for a case which doesn't even belong to his tenure? I think we are not able to find any other better term. If you can find a better term, please suggest us. I think this is the only term to define him.
No. My point is, what is the evidence when you call the Prime Minister a coward and a psychopath? Words which are extremely unfortunate. I can tell you words which, frankly, I think the Chief Minister should be apologizing for. Just as if the CBI is found to be engaging in vendetta, the CBI should be found culpable. My question is this the kind of language to be used?
Rajdeep ji, it is same Narendra Modi who has famously called CBI as Congress Bureau of Investigation. The same kind of logic, the same kind of misuse of CBI is being done by BJP right now. What exactly? We would more than welcome if there is a case against Kejriwal ji, go and search, go and arrest him. But if you don't have a case against him, what right the CBI has to enter a CM's office and to search the files which belongs to this particular tenure of CM?
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Sambit, in a moment. But
I have a word on language.
Yes.
I think there should when such a language is used by a person like of the position of a chief minister, can't he be censured? How can he? Look, junior officers...
You don't think an apology is enough?
No, in this case
an apology is not enough. An apology is not enough for the Chief Minister to say, maybe I lost my cool, I was immature, I should not have called the Prime Minister.
He needs to be punished on it, number one.
Censured by whom? Punished by whom?
That's exactly it. I think there's an absence of rules, there's a vacuum. A censure by the President of India, censure by the court. I think, look at that. Ordinary constable, a simple constable would be dismissed or suspended by this. And Chief Minister of India, a 16 million city, uses this kind of language against a Prime Minister who is one of the 10 most popular persons in this country, most respected, and you use it. You can't be censured for it. You can't reprimanded by it, by the court, by the President of India. Who else? I think there's a vacuum.
Can I just get the rule here very clear from you, Shantanu Sen? Is the CBI entitled to go into the Chief Minister's office during such a raid? Yes or no? Quick answer.
No.
Yes or no?
No, if the CM is not the accused, CM's office cannot be raided.
If the CM's... Sambit Pata, respond to what Shantanu Sen is saying.
His office is not raided.
No, the CM... let me be clear, the CM's office has not been raided. There are some reports, according to Mr. Kejriwal, that his office was searched. That his office was part of the search is what now is being claimed. Earlier in the morning, Mr. Kejriwal said the CM's office had been raided. Now he's saying the CM's office was searched. Your response, Sambit Patra, to this?
We have seen...
It's being suggested as if it's the Congress Bureau of Investigation.
We have been seeing right from the very beginning the kind of flip-flops of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in the beginning. When he used his words coward and psychopath, he was saying that his office also has been entered into and his office is being searched. But later, all the spokespersons had a U-turn and they said, well, yes, even if the private secretary's room was searched, that accounts and amounts to Arvind Kejriwal's room being searched. So we know where the flip-flop is. But 2 or 3 important issues have to be brought in. I was listening to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. I was listening to Mr. Kapil Mishra. How Kapil Mishra can equate AK is equal to RK, Arvind Kejriwal is equal to Rajendra Kumar, because he said that if there is no case against Arvind Kejriwal, how Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can be held over here? And if you have any case against Arvind Kejriwal, arrest him and take him to jail. This is not a case against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, sir. This is a case against Mr. Rajendra Kumar. And why now is the answer to this question, why now, is because an FIR was registered 6 months ago, 13th of August 2015. One of your own top bureaucrats, Mr. Ashish Joshi, filed case in the CBI with some evidences. It went to the court issued warrant, and that's the reason as to why I say it's a technical issue. So why making a hue and cry out of it?
Kapil Mishra, this has been very poorly handled, you must confess, by the Aam Aadmi Party, because there is a due process of law. There is a prima facie case. The CBI has gone on the basis of charges which are being filed. It's part of the investigation. I mean, how can the Aam Aadmi Party
every day, everywhere in the country?
It happens as you've got the foremost bureaucrat, Mr. TSR Subramaniam, senior most, saying raids against government secretaries to Government of India, bureaucrats happen on a regular basis. You cannot cry wolf every time it is a raid and say, look, this is against me. Is this against Mr. Kejriwal or Rajendra Kumar? I come back to it. What if it is found that Mr. Rajendra Kumar is involved in corruption? Where will Mr. Kejriwal be left then, and your entire campaign against corruption?
No, Rajdeep, again I would like to say the same thing. We are not giving any certificate to Rajendra Kumar ji. All we are saying, does they have the warrant issued saying that they can raid CM's office? They are not searching at the right places.
No, the CBI is denying. Let me be clear.
All the files that they are looking at the secretariat today.
Kapil Mishra ji, CBI is denying that they have raided the CM's office. Maybe it was searched. We don't know at the moment. We need more details as to what was found.
No, I know because I was there in the office. Let me tell you, each and every file that Arvind Kejriwal ji has signed over last 1 week was searched. Both the computers where the data of this particular government is actually saved, those computers were searched, and there was no other file.
You are saying hold on. You are 1 minute, Kapil Mishra. You are saying you personally saw the CBI officers searching the computers and the files of Arvind Kejriwal. You saw it?
Rajiv ji, I am saying as Minister of this government, I know what kind of files are there in that particular
No, did you
office.
see it?
We
did you see
don't have
it?
any file of 2007. We don't have any
Kapil
file
Mishra,
of
did you
2007
see?
in CM office.
Did you see the CBI entering the CM's office? Did you see the CBI entering the CM's office?
No. Yes, they have raided the CM office. We all work in the same building. We know which room belongs to whom. They have actually searched the only room where CM, all the files that CM have signed over last 1 week.
Did you see the CBI enter the Chief Minister's room and search his computers and files? Yes or no?
They have raided CM's office. They were in the same room where all the files belong to present CM are being stored.
The premises are CM office.
With full confidence, as Minister of this government, I can tell you, they were only looking for files of this particular tenure of Arvind Kejriwal ji.
This is
a very serious charge. Now, if this is true, does this in any way change the rules of the game? If the CM's office and his computers have been personally
we are now confusing
by the CBI.
We are confusing CM's personal office with CMO.
Right.
CMO contains 10, 15, 20 officers, including Principal Secretary.
Right.
Principal Secretary, as far as I know,
yes.
as far as Principal Secretary's office has been looked at, files from the whole department, from the PM, etc., would all have been there, and that was looked into as far as I can see. If they have entered the CM's personal office, probably that would have been an excess.
So therefore, we are reaching the stage where, and so far we have no proof as yet. Mr. Kapil Mishra, you are claiming, right? You are claiming that the Chief Minister's personal office was raided.
Rajdeep, sorry for my ignorance. What is the full form of CMO?
Chief Minister's office.
That's what I am saying. They have raided Chief Minister's office.
In this building, there are 50 offices. If they go to one office,
was the personal computer of the Chief Minister seized, or was the personal computer of the Chief Minister gone through? Yes or no, Kapil?
Computer which has files of this particular tenure that was searched.
That file will be in 20 places.
No, okay, hold on. Then is the Chief Minister, Kiran Bedi, you believe this is confusing issues? No, you don't believe that you can make a distinction between the Chief Minister's office and the personal computer of the Chief Minister?
This is India Today office, but this is exactly your studio. We're looking at there's a difference between Chief Minister's personal office and Chief Minister's premises.
CMO. And the office CMO is 20 rooms.
A big difference.
It has a room of the Principal Secretary. As far as I can see, his room has been searched.
Rajdeep ji,
yes.
I think Kiran Bedi ji has worked for a very long period in government,
yes.
And I am not aware of any government office there. They have a personal office. It is government office. It is CM office.
The whole Secretariat is CM's office.
Were you running a personal office from your office?
Okay. Let me for a moment twist this. Let me twist this argument on its head. What if the CBI is not able to find enough material against Rajendra Kumar Sambit Patra? Then what? What if this case falls? Then is Arvind Kejriwal entitled to say that this is vendetta?
Number one,
yes.
Look, as far as the previous question was concerned, Mr.
Answer this.
I'll answer everything, don't worry. As far as Kapil Mishra saying that the police or the CBI entered the CM's room, Mr. Rajdeep, do you feel that if they are so sure about it, by the evening they would have moved the court? The Aam Aadmi Party would have been outside the court today, in fact suing the CBI. That they are not doing shows that they know what the truth is. Secondly, your question that if the case falls apart, so what? The CBI's duty is to investigate. If the CBI stands right, If all the allegations that were right against Mr. Rajendra Kumar, the law will take its own course. If not, the case will fall apart. And this happens in umpteen number of cases, not just one case. That does not mean the CBI should stop, in fact, raiding any bureaucrat of this country. And to this effect, a very important example should be given. 15th of September 2015, Rajasthan's Principal Secretary Ashok Singhvi, was he not arrested by the ACB? Was his room not searched by the ACB? Yes. But did Vasundhara Raje make a hue and cry out of it, saying that, well, the federal structure has been demolished, this is the blackest day?
You give a good example. You give a good example of what happened in Rajasthan, and I think that is a salary. It is not as if, I think we should inform our viewers, it is not as if high-ranking officers have not been investigated, not been raided in the past, and simply because the CBI conducts a raid, you cannot claim immediately, without hard evidence, that this is vendetta. Kiran Bedi, I'll give you a final word before you leave us. You've always claimed that Arvind Kejriwal fights his battles through the media, that Arvind Kejriwal wants constant confrontation. That's his politics. You've of course gone to another extreme and called it anarchic. Are you convinced that this is what Mr. Kejriwal is engaged in? Or are you at all in any way, given your past relationship with him, willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he has reason to suspect he is paranoid about the manner in which the Modi government, he believes, is targeting him?
He's hardcore political right now. He's hardcore political.
Everything he does is political.
Everything is political.
There's no idealism left. There's no idealism. There's no war against corruption. Nothing.
He's turned this into brilliantly political. He appears angry, but he has two steps ahead. Why is he angry? That's the person he is. He's hardcore political. I want you to say he wants everything to be him versus Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi versus him. That's it.
He wants this battle to be Kejriwal versus Modi.
Absolutely.
He believes that even if he believes he's punching above his weight, he wants this to become like Varanasi, a battle between him and Mr. Modi.
He's done this again. He's done this again because he's again bringing Mr. Modi, saying it is because of him and that he's a coward and a psychopath. It is only him. He only wants to compete with Mr. Modi, and therefore all along he'll always convert it into he versus Mr. Modi.
I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to ask a final word from you, TSR Subramaniam. Are you worried as to what this means? Because look what has happened in the last 48 hours. Kerala Chief Minister says he has been disinvited by the Prime Minister, and it creates a friction between the state and the centre. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are saying that they are being targeted because of a court order in the National Herald case, and initially gave the impression that we will take this battle to the streets. Now you've got Mr. Kejriwal also threatening that he will take this battle to the streets, and he's supported by Trinamool, by JDU, by other parties. Are you worried about what is happening? This confrontation, will it destroy this country with state, centre versus state?
To some extent, all of this is politics. I can understand it, except the level of the language that we are descended to. But I have one more larger concern.
Yes.
This only shows you give full statehood to Delhi. Tomorrow, police is with the state chief minister. Tomorrow, the PM can be arrested. We are going to have so this is a clear warning to everybody.
How will the PM be arrested?
If the police is under the Delhi government,
yes.
Delhi gets statehood. It's a clear warning signal. Delhi should now go back to municipality. It should not be a state anymore. It's a very dangerous thing because the capital of India is here. We should not play in this kind of a game. This is not a place where you can have a political confrontation. Here in this place, India, the center is supreme in Delhi. I'm not talking of India.
So you're saying Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Modi have to find a way of working with each other?
Kejriwal is nobody here. He is representing 1/100th of India. He should not take on India. He is taking on India.
Those are very strong words that you're using at the moment, that Mr. Kejriwal therefore has to be very careful.
He has to be very careful. He should not make the mistake of taking this battle beyond a particular point. This is extremely, it's not a question of federal setup, etc., etc. This is a dangerous game. Delhi belongs to the whole of India. If you destabilize Delhi, India will get destabilized.
If you destabilize Delhi, the entire country will get destabilized, is the cautionary words being thrown here by the former Cabinet Secretary TSR Subramaniam. Shantanu Sen, because we've got an audio problem, I can't come to you at the moment. Kiran Walia, Sambit Patra, and Kapil Mishra of the Aam Aadmi Party, who was joining us on the...
I have a remark to make.
Yes, quick remark, 10 seconds.
Rajdeep, I have a remark to
10
make.
seconds.
None of the persons on the channel have talked about what is happening to the governance of Delhi. That has taken a beating.
That's now your political battle.
That happens every day.
Okay,
so
that's your political battle.
Come to zero, and that's my sad part.
Okay, you believe that governance is suffering.
It's a fact.
Okay, I take it. At the end of the day, today is unfortunate. When a chief minister starts calling the prime minister a coward and a psychopath, and when a raid being conducted by the CBI is being seen as part of a larger center state battle, and that's taking place in Delhi, it seems at the moment that the national capital is at war with itself, and that's not the impression that the world and indeed the country must get. I think those are salutary words. Sambit Patra, Kiran Walia, Shantanu Sen, Kapil Mishra, TSR Subramaniam, I appreciate all of you joining us here on our talking point this evening.